During this week, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Chelsea wanted to change the strategy, and among many calls they did for centre-backs. Hi guys, welcome back on the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to get you updated on the transfer market, and it's time for official statement for Jules Koundé. He arrived in Barcelona on Thursday afternoon to complete his move. It's already announced by Barcelona and Sevilla, but L'Equipe, one of the best newspapers in the world, reported of a potential attempt to hijack the deal by Manchester City during the week. What really happened? What was the story? Let's jump into it together. And so guys, you know I love to enter into the details of the transfer market sometimes, enter into the crazy stories, and I was checking this story from L'Equipe because I was curious. We know that this Koundé saga was full of surprises, with Chelsea close to complete the deal, not receiving the green light from Sevilla, and then Barcelona jumping into it during the weekend, Xavi Hernandez calling the player, Koundé to decide he wanted to join Barcelona and nothing else, and so this is how Barca signed Jules Koundé. But this Manchester City story was really particular, and so I wanted to check, and I tell you what, I'm told that yes, it was an idea. It was not a direct negotiation, it was not something official, but it was an idea internally at Manchester City to discuss about Jules Koundé. Why? What happened? As I told you guys, last week Chelsea were really close to complete the Jules Koundé deal, but it was never completed on Sevilla side because they wanted a green light that they didn't get on player, and Sevilla side for 55 million euros million pounds bid. Then what happened? During this week, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Chelsea wanted to change the strategy, and among many calls they did for centre-backs, I told you that Pavard is one of many options, that Wesley Fofana is really appreciated, but not at all an easy deal because Leicester want to keep the player, Milan Skriniar is more than complicated because Paris Saint-Germain want him and Inter want to keep the player, so they're calling many agents, many players and many clubs to understand who is the right centre-back for Thomas Tuchel. But during these calls, Chelsea wanted to try one strategy, to go again on Nathan Ake, Manchester City centre-back. You remember that 1 month ago Chelsea were really keen on signing Nathan Ake. They agreed personal terms with the Dutch centre-back, and then what happened? That during the negotiations with Man City, after agreeing with Chelsea for Raheem Sterling, they told Chelsea board, stop for Nathan Ake because the player is staying here and we have no intention to accept your last proposal. So City decided to say no to these negotiations and to keep Nathan Ake at the club. Then what happened? During this week, Chelsea wanted to try again for Ake. They were prepared to submit a big proposal for Nathan Ake. They were prepared to tempt Manchester City with a new proposal. But what happened? Man City needed a replacement for Ake. And in their ideas, one of the names few weeks ago, when the Ake deal was still on with Chelsea, was Jules Koundé. So there was a call from intermediaries to understand if there was still a chance to enter into the Koundé deal and to hijack the move, with Manchester City trying to jump into it in case they agreed a fee for Ake with Chelsea. But everything was almost impossible to be completed in few hours because the answer on Jules Koundé's side was very clear. He only wanted Barcelona move. He already agreed personal terms with Barcelona on Saturday after a new call with Xavi Hernandez, this 5-year contract completed with Barca, and this is why for Man City it was not even a negotiation with Sevilla, it was nothing advanced or serious, but it was a call, it was an attempt, and this is why I think we have the story coming from France on this Manchester City attempt to hijack the deal, because it was a possibility, but then it was almost impossible to convince Koundé because he agreed with Barcelona, impossible to jump into the agreement between Barca and Sevilla because it was at that point too advanced to collapse, and also Man City are super happy to keep Nathan Ake at the club. Pep Guardiola is a big fan of the player. He's convinced he's the best solution to play also in many positions. Sometimes adaptive, he can also help the club and help the team as left back. And so this is why nothing happened, but this is why we had this story on one of the craziest saga we had on the market in the last year, Jules Koundé, because 1 year ago he was really close to join Chelsea. They tried to include players. Do you remember, guys? Emerson Palmieri, Kurt Zouma. Nothing happened with Sevilla. They tried the game on deadline day. No way Sevilla wanted the full release clause, 80 million, but now he's a new Barcelona player officially, despite this Chelsea story and Man City trying to understand the situation. And so guys, let me know your thoughts on this crazy Koundé saga. Do you think Barcelona is the best choice for this centre-back? Xavi called the player many times and told him that together with Araujo it will be a fantastic couple for Barca, a fantastic player for the Barca of the future. I wait for your comments, guys. Here, as always, remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and see you soon with Fabrizio Romano. Ciao!